What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some more news concerning Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn was in an interview with the Boxing Voice, and they were able to catch up with him. Him and Blue Blood Sports TV, he was also there, with his aggressive style of constantly asking the same shit. So let me break it down to you. He was basically saying, and this is Eddie Hearn was saying that, hey, tell Deontay Wilder, because since you can ring him that quickly and he can come on your podcast and you can get a hold of this guy and communicate with him, tell him to call me and give me 5 minutes of his time. Okay? If he doesn't like it, tell me to fuck off or whatever, but at least give me 5 minutes of his time. If you think I'm fucking bullshit, if you think the offer is, hear me out to see what the offer is. Okay? And then numbers started getting thrown around about the numbers, and he was like, well, that's the zones thing. And they went back and forth with that. And, they were wanting proof. Boxing Voice and Blue Blood Sports TV wanted proof of how much these actual pay-per-view events made. And then Eddie Hearn was explaining to him like, well, they don't tell me that type of shit. It's not for public use like it is over here in America, but they were high, and he mentioned the tickets. He mentioned the tickets that were sold by Joshua's, 350,000 tickets, were sold over in the UK, on a grand scale, on a net level. Okay. So he brought that up. So he was like, well, man, I don't have to tell you anything about the numbers. I won't tell you that, I won't do that on the Boxing Voice. I want Deontay Wilder to call me. I'm not going to call out what it is. If I tell them what it is, then they go and tell what that is. That's fine. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to the Boxing Voice because you guys are not promoters. So he was pretty much saying that to them and to Blue Blood Sports TV. And speaking of my brother, Blue Blood Sports TV, he is hell-bent on the same shit. The $50 million is old. It should have cobwebs on it with maggots running through that whole fucking sentence. $50 million. Okay? Look, he asked him, like, well, why did you offer them $50 million? He was like, well, they accepted 15. They accepted $15 million. And they agreed to it. Then they said they didn't agree to it. He was like, well, they said they didn't agree. Well, why did you send them something knowing they didn't agree? He's like, I didn't. They said they agreed to it. Therefore, I sent the contract. And Eddie looked like he was getting pissed off because Blue Blood was drilling his ass. He was drilling him with like that old Dragnet ass. You guys remember Dragnet back in the day. They also did a remake movie back in the 80s like Dragnet 87. But Dragnet was the original show in the 60s. I think it was in late 50s, early 60s, where you had two detectives and they talked real fast and shit. That's how Blue Blood Sports TV sounded. He was like, well, why didn't you do that when you knew that he wasn't going to accept the terms anyway, He was like, well, no, he didn't. He accepted the terms. Well, why didn't you offer him a rematch clause? He said, because he accepted the terms. Fucking hell, mate. You know what I mean? Because he was like he was losing his cool because it's like, I guess people ask you shit to see if you would lose your cool. You know what I mean? And it looked like Eddie was losing it to the point where, because he already explained, they agreed to the terms. You know what that means? Well, you say he didn't agree to the terms. He was like, he did agree to the terms. He said he agreed to the terms. It'd been confirmed that he really did agree to the terms. And then when he got the contract, they looked over it and they seen that the rematch contract in it was not in there. So Blue Blood was like, well, you knew it wasn't in there. You knew they wouldn't agree to a no rematch clause. Why'd you put no rematch clause in the contract? You know what I mean? Why did you do that to the contract? You know what I mean? And then, Eddie was like, no, he agreed to it. He agreed to no rematch clause unless he beat Joshua. Then when he got it, he changed his mind. Well, no, he didn't. Then they went back and forth with that shit, and the interview was very interesting, and the funny thing about it is, because of that particular interview that Eddie Hearn told the Boxing Voice to get a hold of Deontay Wilder, he has a massive deal for him. Fanon, another LDBC channel, was like, oh, well, hey, Eddie Hearn has a big deal for Deontay Wilder now. Yay. You know, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Y'all don't like Eddie Hearn. Why would you want something from that guy that y'all can't stand? You know, y'all got to look at him as Bob Arum, like Lennox Lewis, right? He's like the Bob Arum of boxing now. So why would you want anything from him when you've been bashing this dude because he's not black, right? Why would you be doing that? It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? And it's like, I look at that and I'm like, whoa, you are sitting back happy about the rival person that you are sworn enemies with, mind you. They have a massive deal for Deontay just so Deontay won't be left in the dark, because that's exactly what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And I have an igging suspicion on Deontay Wilder. I believe that he does have some envious bones in his body. I think he does. I think he's, like on the cool, pissed off about how things really went with his shit or not. He may or may not be, but if I had to bet money on it, I think he would be, kind of feeling some type of way about Tyson Fury signing a contract that first can jeopardize his opportunity to shine. And then second, may stop the fight altogether. You know what I mean? And Tyson Fury ain't worried because Tyson Fury's getting paid already, right? He's getting paid. He just has to fight. He don't have to fight Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder, that was his, his big break, his second pay-per-view. So I can understand him getting mad. And if he's not mad, I don't see why the hell he's not mad if it don't happen. He said, oh, well, we got people in our stable, but I mean, is it going to be pay-per-view worthy though? Something that he claims that he wants, but coming from the PBC side. PBC equals free TV, guys. FYI, if you guys don't know that. Okay, that's where Deontay Wilder fought for many, many bouts on Premier Boxing Champions, which was created by Al Heyman, okay, to put TV or put boxing back on TV for free. So knowing all that about Deontay Wilder, fighting on free TV, getting fight purses, and only going off the viewers from free TV, how would he not, or how could he not be envious of people like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury signing big ass deals with other networks? You know what I mean? So, he hasn't said it. Of course, he won't say it, but you know what I mean? You got to look and read between the lines a lot of times when he says that. But he hasn't showed us that so far. I'm just saying it's easy for him to have that type of perception that, hey, what about me? And then his boys, his buddies, his cheerleaders, his entourage, these guys, they, are feeding that narrative that Eddie Hearn wants that. But it would be good, though. All shits and giggles aside. It would be good, and it would be very, very ironic if Deontay Wilder, for the sake of wanting a deal, agreed to an Eddie Hearn fight. You see what I'm saying? That would be something big. It would, it would be very contradicting. It would be very ironic, but it would happen. But it would also mean if he took a fight with Eddie Hearn or a job or an opportunity to fight someone for like $10, $15 million, right? And he did that, and that was like a part of the contract, right? That would show he was envious to a certain degree. Because since he was envious, you gonna sign with Eddie, a guy that you call as a slave master, but then yet, you're gonna do that knowing who he is, saying who you believe he is to the public, and you're gonna sign with him? You're gonna sign with this person that automatically tells me that you didn't want to get left in the dark like everyone else. So he wanted to sign something for the sake of signing something to get some money too, to get some get back. Right? So that would tell you all you need to know if that particular thing happened, which I doubt, because I think Deontay Wilder just hates Eddie Hearn. He just don't like him, But anyhow, the interview went well, and Blue Blood, of course, he gave his intake. Boxing Voice was, you know what I mean? He was kind of in there, but I wonder if he's going to actually do it. I wonder if Boxing Voice is going to come to Deontay and tell him. You know what I mean? But Deontay has to be serious about the fight and want it. And I'm going to leave it with that. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this interview regarding Eddie Hearn with the Boxing Voice. Of course, please subscribe. You guys been counterpunched. Peace.